What's up guys? In this video we're going to talk about people pleasers and the tendency that they have to put themselves second, to hide, to avoid making mistakes, to avoid being seen in a negative way, and how they have all those coping mechanisms, habits and behaviors in order to seek external validation, and how this is actually the reason why they struggle with confidence, with self-love, with self-worth, and why they keep on ending being stuck in that pattern, experiencing so much anxiety, passive aggressiveness, being stuck, stagnating in their life, instead of fully embodying the true confident self that they have inside and following and doing what they really want in life instead of wearing that mask. And you see here, the paradox is that because for a long time, often since they are a little kid, they created this mask, this facade of getting external validation, love, and significance from other people. And this often comes to those people-pleasing tendencies of being too nice, the good girl or the good boy. And so there is this deep belief inside that if I do something, if I appear in a certain way in which other people don't like, they won't like me, and you will look bad on me, and I will be judged, criticized, embarrassed, and the worst one, ashamed. And that is the vulnerability and the weakness that they struggle to really allow themselves to experience. And so everything is a shield in order to not relieve those wounds of embarrassment, of being judged, of being abandoned, of being, all those things that may have happened at different time and different intensity in their childhood and different moments in their life. And so if I can avoid confrontation, if I can avoid being vulnerable, if I can avoid mistake, if I play it safe, if I keep it in my comfort zone, and if I'm just nice, and if everybody likes me, then I'll be safe and people will like me, and then my life will be good. And when you put it like this, it sounds like well, that's a pretty good idea. But in reality, from personal experience, I can tell you, it is not the freaking reality. It only leads to feeling unfulfilled, passive-aggressive, resentful, lost, empty, full of anxiety, bitterness, and lacking confidence in self-expression and taking risks to do the things that you really want to do in your life. So what then is the solution? How can you actually reverse that pattern? And you see, it's actually quite simple, but it's not exactly easy to put in place because often those patterns are deeply subconscious. Most people are not even aware of how deep it can go in their self-image, in their identity, and how tied up it can be to so many things that happened in their life in the past. But the context here is this, and I want to leave you with something practical, is to understand that as long as you wear that mask of just trying to appease everybody and trying to be nice and trying to be liked with everybody, as long as that mask is present, you might make everybody happy around you, but you will never make yourself happy. And so here is the priority, is that you need to start putting yourself first. And I know that a lot of people who are people pleaser tend to put themselves last and tend to not be aware of their need, because the pattern is again, well, if I meet other people's need, then they will meet mine. But that's not the case, because often they fail to clearly communicate what those needs are. And so there's just a lot of hidden expectation. I give you that, well, where is my reward? Where is your thing you do back for me, right? And that leads to the bitterness, to the passive aggressiveness, to the anger that is deeply accumulated inside. So put yourself first, but above all, you gotta realize that you have been hiding, playing small, keeping safe, and that it is actually not something that is keeping you safe. Is doing the opposite, is doing a lot of damage silently, compounded over time and years, leaving you isolated, leaving you bitter, leaving you angry, leaving you in a place that is not who or what you're meant to be. So I invite you to start in little ways every day, have a bit of courage to express yourself. And that can be as easily as saying, no, I don't like this. It can be as easy as simply expressing and saying what you really think, instead of saying, it's nothing, never mind, don't worry, I'm fine. It can be really just having that honest conversation that you've been avoiding for months or however long you've been avoiding. It can be as easy as taking some time for yourself to work on one of your goals, to face on one of your little fears, to do something for yourself that is moving you forward, to take the risk of appearing stupid, of appearing weak and vulnerable and bad and embarrassed. And above all, here's the main one. When these feelings come up and are being triggered, don't resist and fight and blame yourself for feeling this way, but allow yourself to feel those emotions and to feel safe in those emotions, because the moment you can allow yourself to stop hiding, to stop avoiding all those emotions, all those emotional scars that you may have that may be triggered in moments, and you can allow to feel them and renounce all those limiting thoughts and stories that the mind is creating. But when you let those emotions come up, at some point they will naturally subside. And that is what Dr. David Hawkins called the letting go technique. And that can literally transform your life. It's so important that you stop fighting and resisting your emotion, because the more you try to repress those emotions, the more you're trying to avoid them, the more you're trying to avoid anything that can trigger that emotion, the more you remain trapped behind the mask, the more you remain trapped in that comfort zone with your own fear, with your own shame, with your own embarrassment, holding you back, chaining you up in that little cave that you put yourself into. So how do you claim back your confidence? Is by putting yourself first in a very loving way. Let go of that inner critic that is beating you up every chance you get. Start taking small action where you put your need first, where you express yourself, when you act with courage and confidence. Start cultivating that self-talk, embrace those emotions. And if you do that bit by bit every single day, you will break those chains, you will break that freaking mask, and you will soar in a completely different way. And at the first, it can be uncomfortable, it can be stressful, it can require a lot of courage and a lot of determination. But what other choice have you got? Because if you keep on hiding and keep on playing small and keep trying to please everybody and keep putting yourself last, it's not a fucking life worth living. So get that courage inside of you, that fire that is telling you, I deserve more, there is more for me in life, and start taking small little steps, because one little step a day can take you a long way. So start now, embrace who you are, embrace your voice, speak it, and before you know it, you will be fully embodied in it. If you have any questions, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're struggling to do this alone and you need help on your journey, make sure you book a coaching session, and together we can identify those beliefs, those experiences, those things that are holding you back, and help you break free from the chain and fast track your progress. The link is down in the description, guys. I will see you next time. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'll see you next time. Be well.